Hi there, Luke Trewin here from Modern Visual Business Growth Solutions, Joe Benson from Joe Benson Consulting. Today we've been asked to provide some handy hints and advice around the current situation with the coronavirus and how your business can survive through these challenging times.
Yeah, thanks Luke. I think there's a couple of key things that businesses can look at, and I've made a bit of a list of items that businesses can look at to help them through the crisis. I think the first thing, most importantly, is cash flow management. It's very important, as you know, that in businesses you've got to do short-term cash flow measurements, which means that on at least a monthly basis, perhaps even more commonly fortnightly, that you monitor what's happening with your cash flow. And that's basically a case of looking at your opening balance for that period, looking at all the money coming in over that period, money going out, and understanding what your cash position is throughout that period. So that way you can prevent being in a situation where you're making panic decisions when you arrive at a state where there's all sorts of problems happening, as opposed to being able to forecast them beforehand. The second thing that I think is really important is, as we're all, as business owners, going to be overwhelmed by the sort of problems that can happen, it's very important that we compartmentalise those problems and particularly come up with tasks that address those problems. And the best way of managing that is to put the tasks down in writing, put dates to them, calendarise them, and tackle the tasks one at a time, rather than just being overwhelmed by the whole series of problems that you're going to be facing as a business. The third point is looking at ways that you can interact with your customers without having to have them directly attending your offices or your premises or your store. So things like online sales becomes quite important, deliveries, pickups, and obviously video conferencing, which I believe you're going to be talking about in a little bit more detail. But video conferencing both with staff and with clients is very important as well. I think the other thing is that businesses that have stock, I think it's really important to do a thorough stock take at the moment. You don't want to be buying unnecessarily. That could potentially cause problems with storage. It could cause wastage, which will cost you money down the track. So a thorough stock take, understand exactly what stock you've got on board, and don't panic buy product just for the sake of buying it. Another aspect that you can consider as a company is to adjust your sick leave policies. We don't want to incentivise people to come to work while they're sick. So if, for example, you've got an employee that's run out of sick leave, consider advancing sick leave from the next year so that they feel comfortable about taking time off while sick. And encourage them obviously to stay at home if they're showing any signs or symptoms. Another thing you can do is to extend your operating hours so that you're providing flexible shifts for your staff. So if you've got people that if schools are closed, they're looking after their kids or looking after elderly relatives, that you can set up obviously extended hours where they can work outside of the normal hours to give them the maximum amount of flexibility. Obviously, something we're seeing a lot more of is people working from home. There's a number of ways, and I think you might be talking a bit about that as well, Luke, that you can set up a system for people working from home. It's something that we all need to consider as this virus outbreak progresses. If you can come up with good, sound ways to have people work from home, that will be very beneficial to the business. If you've got a risk mitigation strategy, now's the time to bring that document out and start reviewing it and looking at how your business is going to mitigate the risks that might face it. If you don't have a risk mitigation strategy, put some time aside to actually create one. It's very important. It's much better to be making decisions about how you might prevent certain risks from happening when you're thinking calmly and clearly, not when that's actually happening and you're trying to make panic decisions. So a good risk mitigation strategy will allow you to predict some of those problems that might arise and come up with solutions to get around any of those issues. If you have business continuity insurance as part of your insurance package, read your product disclosure statement to see what sort of coverage you do have. It's there to help you if needed. Do be aware, however, that a lot of insurers after the SARS epidemic put exclusions in for communicable diseases. So double check your business continuity insurance to make sure that that is not the case for you. And if you do have it, then certainly make use of it if you need it. And lastly, and probably most importantly, Nearly every bank has established hardship teams to assist businesses and individuals who are having problems through this crisis. The Australian Banking Association has a list of all the contacts, the phone numbers for all the various banks. You can find that at ausbanking.org.au, so that's ausbanking.org.au. I strongly encourage people to talk to their banks. They are prepared to provide all sorts of relief in terms of relaxing interest payment requirements and credit card payment requirements, that sort of thing. So definitely get onto your bank as soon as possible.
Now, Joe, what I wanted to talk about today is how businesses can take advantage of readily available technology. There's a number of free tools available right now that you can sign up for, and that's going to help you work remotely. It's going to allow you to communicate with your clients remotely and just keep chugging along, hopefully as close to business as usual as you can. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was communication and how vital it is that you do keep communication channels open, again with clients, staff, etc. The best tools you can use for communication right now, and they're again free to sign up, would be Slack. So Slack is an instant messaging tool that allows you and your team to collaborate together. It's very much like MSN Messenger back in the day, if anybody remembers that. I would simply Google search Slack and jump on, register, set it up, very easy to get stuck straight into.
And that's SLACK?
Yes, yes. The other way you could communicate on an ongoing basis is through Zoom. So Zoom is a conferencing tool. Again, very easy to use. You literally go to zoom.us, so ZOOM, and you can sign up for an account and start doing video conferencing pretty quickly with anyone. It simply sends them a link. They click the link, they can download Zoom and connect with you instantly. There is also a little plugin you can get for the Google Chrome web browser that allows you to automatically add a Zoom video link into calendar invitations. So that's a really cool little thing to look at as well. And there's, again, plenty of advice out there on Google on how you can do that. The biggest thing from an advice point of view I'd give on communication would be just keep the channels open, set expectations with your clients and staff around how you will be communicating, obviously with the current circumstances. So that's just something I recommend you get on top of at the start, is just setting expectations. The next thing I wanted to talk to everyone about today was using a CRM. CRM stands for Client Relationship Management. And what it basically is a central location online, like a portal that everyone in your business can use to communicate around client interactions. So whether it be phone calls or emails or meetings or tasks, all of your team can instantly see a profile for a client in a client database and have an answer straight away on where that client's at, what's been said. And this is a vital piece of software to use for when obviously everyone's working remotely, including your clients. A CRM can also have bolt-ons such as sales pipelines, marketing, so scheduling all your social media. Basically, it's an all-in-one tool for communication and sales in your business. There's free CRMs out there. We are a partner of HubSpot. We highly recommend people investigate HubSpot. It's free to register online. Just simply Google search HubSpot. But there's also a number of other CRMs out there as well. So do your research and make sure you choose the right one for you. But again, I just want to state that it's so easy just to jump online and sign up for a CRM. They all have helpful wizards that help you get started. Just jump in there and have a go. The next thing I wanted to talk about was utilising social media. The main reason you would do that at the moment is to educate your clients and staff. So look at platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Whatever suits your business and your needs. Highly recommend you look at filming video. Obviously you can have this done professionally, but you can also do that yourself quite easily with smartphones. There's a number of guides out there on how to do this on Google and online. So just really get the messaging out there, educate your clients, inform them on how you're operating right now and how you can still help them in this troubling time. Another thing I wanted to talk about was using cloud office suites and storage. So, you know, a lot of businesses still are using offline Microsoft Office, so Word and Excel and PowerPoint and stuff like that, and even file storage. It's so easy to get online with whether it be Google G Suite or Office 365. Really easy way for your team to collaborate on all of your documents, all your files. They're safe in the cloud, secure, easily available, there's history, it automatically saves everything. It's just a really good way to even share files with your clients and staff as well, again, due to the circumstances at the moment. And these are all good tools to have for your business anyway for the future. So at the moment, it's a little bit troubling, obviously, trying to keep up with everything like this, but at the same time, you're setting yourself up for the good times that are to come to be a much stronger business. So Joe, the last thing I want to talk about is just retaining your culture when everyone's working remotely, both staff and clients. It's just really important that, obviously it's a little bit down at the moment. Everyone's a little bit unsure of what's happening. Culturally, you just want to make sure that you make time to have some, some fun interactions with your staff and your team as well. Have a bit of a laugh here and there as well. Just make sure that obviously you're open to change at the moment. A lot of people love to sort of go, oh, look, I'm not going to deal with that sort of technology side of things, but you've got to have an open mind. If you want to survive, everything's out there for you. It's easy to use. Don't be afraid. Just have a try, see how you go, jump on Google, and there's not much more I can put to it.
Thanks, Luke. Some good words of advice there. So let's all stay healthy and all look after each other, and we'll get through this.